Okay, the first question to you. You were 6 when the first one came out. What were your memories of it? And
one of the biggest memories I have was Will Smith punching the alien in the face. I think that stands out for me as a kid. Yeah, that moment of just the alien. I think it's the first moment in the film you really see the aliens, and it pops out, and Will Smith just punches in the face. That's great. As a kid, that's a wonderful moment.
So what was it?
As an older person, it's a wonderful moment.
It is. Did you get into a lot of fights when you were a kid?
No.
You didn't? Really?
No.
So what was it you were looking forward to when you came on board?
A fight or two, just a fight or two, yeah.
So what was it you were looking forward to when you came on board?
Lots of things. I think, being a part of such an iconic film and continuing the story 20 years later was really exciting, and getting to work with someone like Roland Emmerich and Jeff Goldblum, I was definitely excited to work with him. Both of them, yeah.
Who? What?
Well, I was saying Roland, and then I said you, and then I said him, and I meant both.
He meant both.
Them. Yes.
So, I mean, Jeff, 20 years ago, you were the
them.
one who basically cripples the mothership, and now you're like the director of the Earth-Space Defense. You're the last hope for humanity. So what was it like coming on board after 20 years? Did you start off from where you'd left?
Yes, it felt like we'd never left in a way, but it was what? What's that up there? I think they're enjoying they're enjoying the natives are enjoying the. Yeah, it felt like I'd never left. It was very fun. Roland Emmerich is an excellent and spectacular director, of course, as everybody knows, and working with Liam Hemsworth.
He apparently directed you as well.
Liam did?
Yeah,
He did in a take or two, a scene or two. He's got good ideas. You're going to be a wonderful director. Do you direct, or will you direct?
Any plans to do that in the future, though?
I'd love to one day. I wouldn't do it right now. I think I'd like a little more experience, a little more knowledge about everything, so that I can really take control of every aspect of making a film. But yeah, one day I think it would be great.
You'd be fantastic. I'd like a little part in anything, or just a reading. I'd like to read.
Thanks.
Maybe
I'll give you a reading one day, and we'll see how you go.
Maybe
Okay.
I did 3, huh?
Thank you.
But both of you are part of massively huge, successful franchises. Is it tough to live up to audience expectations? Because Independence Day was huge in India, and now Jurassic Park, which you were part of. I mean, is it tough to live up to fan expectations and the legacy of Independence Day today?
Yeah, it's a responsibility, because they're people investing in it, investing so much time and effort and passion, are hopeful that it'll connect with audiences. And yeah, I showed up very as prepared as I could possibly be.
Yeah.
Did as good a job as I could,
Yeah. I think you always have a responsibility, and you want to make a film good, regardless of the audience that's behind it, or if it's going to be a big or small film. You want that film to do good, so you put your heart into it.
So were you disappointed there was no Will Smith in this one?
What's that?
Were you disappointed there was no Will Smith in this one?
It would have been fun to have him there, but
He's a doll.
Yeah.
I just saw him the other day. I went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That went to,
yeah.
and you know about that. And he was there. I didn't, and all of a sudden I was talking to people, and there he was. I hadn't seen him in quite a while, and it was very lovely. We shared a sweet hug and glowed at each other and gushed at each other for a few moments, and it was sweet. Yeah.
So what's like filming with a lot of green screens versus human actors? How do you wrap your head around that?
It's it's a bit of a different process. It can be a little more difficult in the beginning, but also can be easier in ways. When the first day I was doing some of the flying scenes in this was pretty scary, because I had a bunch of dialogue, and most of what I was receiving was in my ear. It was from radio, wherever it was in the film. So just being the only person on camera and having to react to nothing apart from the person on mic telling you where you are can be a little daunting at first. But we had a lot of fun with it. We had James and Nick, the 2 writers of the film. They were on mic the whole time, and they made it a lot of fun and a lot easier to do. So.
Do you still feel like sometimes you're hearing voices in your ear when you
still hear them so clearly on mic?
Yeah.
Are you aware of the Indian film industry and Indian film actors?
What?
The Indian film industry, the Hindi film industry. Are you aware of that?
Oh, the Indian film industry. Yes, somewhat. Yeah.
Would you like to do a movie with her?
Yes, I would. A few years ago, I was kind of cooking up something where it was a story where I traveled to India and got involved in I was an actor and got involved in a production. It never came off, but I'd love to do that.
Do you know any one of our actors, or would you like to do a film? I mean, girls in India are absolutely crazy about you.
Yeah, I'd also love to, if it made sense and there was the right project. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. Let's do one together.
Yeah.
Could we do singing and dancing in it?
Yeah, big.
Absolutely.
Big
We would
sing and
look forward to
dance.
that.
And India, I'd love to. India has always been a kind of a mysterious, exotic, and alluring, enchanting
I love
place.
the colours of India
Okay.
and everything.
And also, having worked with both Liam and Will,
Yeah.
who saves the day better?
Oh, it's I couldn't possibly say.
I'll just shut my ears. It's okay. Won't listen.
Well, he's fantastic. He's a great hero. But they're both good characters. It's tough to choose.
And we have the first woman president in this. Do we see that happening in real life in America as it stands for presidential elections now?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet. Who knows? We're just on the threshold of this California primary. You don't vote. You don't vote in America.
I'm not allowed to vote, but I've been following it.
So what's your take on Trump?
What?
What's your take on Donald Trump?
I hope he finds his niche in some kind of entertainment. Salesman bombast corner of the culture, and stays away from anything in a leadership position. I hope with all my heart.
20 years since the last. The legacy of Independence Day in today's time, when there's an absolutely new generation, many of whom haven't even seen the first one.
I know, it's like there's actually people who haven't seen the first one.
Your lead cast member was 6 years old when the first one came out.
I know. It's like, and a lot of the young people haven't seen it, if only on TV. But it's also like very unique to kind of continue a movie after 20 years.
Yeah, but why did it take so long?
Because I don't like really sequels. I had the feeling, I never really had the feeling or the urge to do something or continue it until maybe like 5-6 years ago. And that was mainly driven by just saw how much like kind of, technology had changed in our world, in my world, where I work. And we constantly, we're all friends, and my visual effects supervisor is a really old friend of mine. And we were talking about it and saying like, oh my God, what could we do now with like an Independence Day scenario? And that sticks in your head, and then you all of a sudden want to do it.
Yeah, and also it's a new cast also, and a different dynamics. So were you kind of disappointed that there was no Will Smith this time?
Well, yeah, I was at first disappointed, but that was like already like 4 or 5 years ago that he kind of like opted out. But whatever it is, I kind of said to myself, Independence Day is like kind of bigger than any one, character in it, and we got a lot of the old characters anyway back, but we also got the fresh new faces,
yeah.
Which I think is so important in this film, because I think especially for people who haven't seen the first one, they like kind of more going probably because of a Liam Hemsworth in this film than for Jeff Goldblum.
Absolutely. And what does the movie mean today? Because it had grossed 300 million that time, and now the moment a movie touches that number, you have like spin-offs happening, cartoons happening, video games happening.
Well, this is like kind of, I got a lot of pressure. Independence Day, when it came out, was the second most successful film of all time.
It was huge in India.
Yeah, I know. And they like immediately said, let's do a sequel. And I kind of said, no, I'm not doing a sequel. And actually I was surprised that they didn't do a sequel for some other director. I don't know why they didn't do that.
They were waiting for you.
They were waiting for me, and they were very excited when I then finally came to them and said, I think I'm ready to do another one. But then it still took like 4 or 5 years for me, to finally find like a way how to do it.
Also, as a director of disaster films, do you think there's some way you also get typecast the way actors do?
Definitely. I mean, that's definitely the case, you know. But I always try, you know, to, you know, like everybody, I want to try other things, you know. I love historical films, you know, which use history, but I also love these kind of. I mean, I wouldn't do them if I wouldn't love them, because my next one will be very similar again.
Okay, now what would that one be? I mean,
I cannot tell you.
Okay. 2012. I mean, many people actually felt the world would come to an end, and also somewhere I think many people are also scared of aliens and another alternate universe. Do you feel somewhere we are capitalizing on their fears?
Well, you know, I myself, I'm like afraid of everything, and that's probably why I make movies like that. I'm really afraid of flying. I'm afraid of water. It's always like in my nightmares, I'm drowning and stuff, and so I'm like kind of working through my own fears, and but also like my films are most of the time real fun, you know, and people I think enjoy them a lot. So.
And also we have the first female POTUS, President of the United States. Do we see that happening in real, like Independence Day is going to set?
Well, it's just was for me, you know, I had in my last two films like kind of black presidents, and I said it's time for like to play the woman's card, as they say.
So do we see that happening in the United States?
We'll see. I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I actually am a big supporter of Hillary. I did two, you know, like fundraisers for her.
Okay. And what is your take on Donald Trump?
He's like, you know, I'm a Democrat, you know, so you know, I mean, I have not like kind of much love for him, but I hope that this will not happen.
Okay. And also, are you aware of the Indian film industry, Bollywood? And our actors, are you aware of them?
Yes, very well. I mean, I'm like very aware of Bollywood. I actually, you know, like they're now like kind of more and more come to America, these films.
Yeah,
you know that?
Yeah, absolutely. And your movies do very well in India.
Yeah.
So 5 reasons why people should watch Independence Day in India, where the world is united, but it's America's war.
Yeah, well, it's like kind of, I think it's all our war because the world's united. That's one reason to go. And the second reason, I think it has the same tone than the first one. You can, it doesn't take itself too serious. Third reason is probably it's state of the art of visual effects. I think it's incredible. We use the 10 best companies in the world to do these visual effects. And last and not least, was this like 4? Is this number 4 now? 4?
Yeah. And also lastly, Independence Day 3. I mean, aliens seem to be a better race than the humans. So do we see an Independence Day 3?
If this one is successful, yes.
Thank you. And lastly, what's most difficult to shoot, monsters, disasters, or aliens?
Oh my God. They're all the same. They're all the same in a way. They're difficult. It's very difficult to make movies, by the way. It's a very, very difficult job.
Okay. Critical review or audience feedback?
What?
Critical reviews or audience feedback?
Audience feedback.
Thank you very much. All the very best. Well, I didn't break my foot fighting the aliens, but the men who saved the planet were rather concerned. So here is what happened during the course of the interview. My foot got all the importance. I broke it in the gym.
Oh, the gym.
You dropped something on it?
No, I fell while doing a step up.
And we were
Step up. Okay. I'm so sorry. Well,
That's what they say. Those who live by the gym die by the gym.
I never heard that. It's usually, you know that phrase? What is gym? What is the word gym usually substituted for in the original?
Live by the sword or
Live by the sword or die by the sword. But live by the gym, I've never heard that one. Die by the gym. That's a good one.
That's good.
We're ready. Okay.